Welcome back, everyone, to Daily DVR. My name is Axel. I'm here today with Gina and Jenny. We're talking reality TV. It's Reality Roundup, little Ultimatum, Queer Love 2, little NextGen, NYC, old people talking about young people. That's right. We won't bother you. We won't bother you with the half an hour of talking about our medical ailments. That's predated the beginning of this podcast. Check us out at dvrpodcast.com. Become a patron at patreon.com/dvr. We are still covering Duster. We have one episode left. That's very exciting. And I want to welcome our newest patron, Joshua, who I mentioned that because I believe he may be a Duster fan. But you can go to patreon.com/DVR and welcome Joshua. Thanks for joining the crew. Thanks to all the patrons like Gina and Jenny themselves who are with me. Jenny, how are you doing?
I am doing good. How are you doing, Axel?
I'm doing good. I
I
have a
have
new
to tell
Star
you
City
something.
poster. You see?
I like it. I noticed that in the background. I have to tell you something that is about this shows we're going to talk about, but I just realized when I was looking through the cast list that I meant to do something about it today when I was at work because I saw it again. Bridget, I swear, is on the ATM ad for Chase or someone who looks just like her. And I work for Chase, in case, spoiler for those of you who did not know that. But we have ATMs in the building. And when I walked past the ATM today, I happened to look over at it and it had one of the ads up, and the person on the ad looks just like Bridget.
Oh,
And I
how
had been
funny.
wondering and wondering and wondering where I knew her from. And I'm like, I think it's the stupid ad on the ATM. So anyway, I'm sorry. Hi, Gina. How are you?
Hi, Jenny. I'm good. And for a minute, I'm like, who's Bridget?
From the
And now that I see
ultimatum.
her picture in front of me, yes, yes, Bridget. For some reason, she was low drama, so her name escapes me, but
Yeah.
her look
Yeah.
does not because it is very distinctive.
I'm trying to look
Yes.
it up to find out if it
She has
actually
the
is her.
curly mullet person.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yes,
I know who
That's
she
what makes
is.
her stand out to me. Like her little hairdo is what makes her
yes,
her look so, like Gina said, it's unique or I don't know. What's the
memorable.
word? There. Yeah.
I well, that's the thing. Is it memorable or is it very predictable? You know what I mean? That's kind of how I
I
feel
don't
about
see
her.
many
Like it's
lesbians
not
with mullets these days. I
I
haven't seen
Especially
someone
not a
rock a mullet
curly
like
mullet.
this in a long
Yeah.
time, a
it's a
Yes.
female.
look is what I
It is
mean.
It
it's
It
is a
may
look.
not
definitely a
that's
look.
what I
She's
you
an
know what I mean?
artist,
Like
you know.
Yeah.
it looks like maybe she's trying to capture us like she crafted us an image that does actually project her personality kind of. It actually kind of works though, right? Like
Oh yeah.
annoyingly quirky, very not having a lot of strong opinions except for wanting someone to tell you what to do. That's kind of her personality. That's kind of how I
Well,
feel about
sorry to
Bridget.
bite on your intro with that, but it's just like
No, that's a
I
great
had just
intro.
scrolled down. I scrolled down this page because, like I said, I was going to pull up the couples so I could remember their names. And when I
Yeah.
saw her again, it came to me again, and I was like, "Crap! I forgot to. I was going to take a picture of the ATM and show you guys, and I forgot."
No, but that's I think that's a fun way to start it out is she reminds you, what do you think of Kyle and Bridget? First off, we should say we're going to talk about the Ultimatum Queer Love season 2 on Netflix. All of the episodes are now available. We're recording this on Wednesday, July 2nd. Those new episodes just became available like midnight Pacific last night. Gina has seen one of the three remaining
Almost one.
episodes, almost one.
Yeah.
Jenny and I have not. I think my wife and I will watch them tonight. But we're going to kind of
I'll
talk
probably
about.
watch tonight
We'll
or
try to
tomorrow.
talk. I mean, we're going to talk. I think spoilers up to the first batch, and then maybe Gina will give us some hints, and then maybe we'll come back and talk the end of it next week or the week after or something. Because I did want us also. I don't know if you all are interested in talk about your like top five half year TV
Oh, of
shows.
course.
That's something we had talked about doing. Does that interest
Mhm.
you, Gina?
Yeah, I missed that we talked about doing it, so I'm a little on the
No,
fly.
no,
It was
just
Yeah.
on one
on
of
the
the pods. He
podcasts.
had
Oh,
talked about it
Yeah,
okay.
with
on like Duster at the
Andy
end of
and
it,
Heath,
we were
I
Yeah.
talking
think.
about it.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I hadn't reached out yet, so I figured since we're live here, why not just like bring it up? But so let's talk about it. What do you think of Kyle and Bridget then, Jenny? What is your opinions on these two since she's in a Chase ad following you
I
around?
honestly think that I think that they probably will stay together. That's my opinion. I can't
I
even
think so
remember
too.
who Bridget was with. Who was Bridget with in her second?
Kyle, oh, you mean in her second marriage?
Yeah.
It was, oh gosh, it's another one with like, I think a very
She was with
similar,
AJ's girlfriend,
no,
right?
No,
she
Wasn't she?
she
wasn't.
was not.
No.
She was
Mm-mm.
with,
Marita was with
Oh,
Brittany.
um,
oh,
was it Ashley?
I think it is.
It was
Yeah.
Ashley. It was
Yeah.
Ashley. Yeah.
Who's
It
another
was
very quiet
it
person
was
like Kyle.
Marita's. Yeah, exactly. It was
Yes.
Marita's, and she only was with her because remember she was hot for AJ, and then it was obvious that there were two other women in
Hmm.
competition. So she
Yeah,
said, "I better
and
go start a conversation with someone." And
Right.
Bridget
she,
and Kyle both liked Pilar. They both
yes,
liked
Yes.
Pilar, and then
yeah,
Pilar picked
right,
Kyle. So
yes,
Bridget and Ashley, I think that they were fine. They didn't have drama. They seemed like they were whatever because they weren't very memorable in their couplehood.
no,
But I do recall with Kyle and Pilar, it seemed like they had some moments where they had issues with communicating. Now I got to back up a little bit. I don't think that maybe Bridget and Kyle should stay together because it seems like their ways of dealing with conflict are too similar and they just don't. And
yeah.
so that's a
They're both
problem though
bland
if
as
you don't
fucking
ever deal with
toast.
conflict. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I think that maybe they shouldn't be together just for that, but if they can figure out how to handle
I don't know.
conflict together in a good way, I think that
Maybe.
they would be all right. I don't think that they're a bad couple. They don't seem toxic for each other or anything,
Yeah.
at least
No,
not from what we
no.
saw in the, from what we've seen of their relationship. Now there's others that I would not say that they maybe are not in a toxic
Ugh.
relationship, but what do
Yeah.
you think about them, Gina?
I mean, they're pretty bland to me. It's, and I don't even get the real feeling from Kyle that she really wants to marry Bridget because she's so subdued. Like it just doesn't seem to be like a lot of passion there.
Yeah.
I think they get along well. I think there are a couple, there's another couple like that I think they get along, but there are some things missing in the relationship. There might be a few couples like that, but, it just seems very ho hum and not like there's even good banter or,
Ooh, the
um,
banter. I like it.
yeah, they just seem like, they like each other. Do they love each other enough to stay the rest of their lives? I don't know. I don't get the passion. And now I'm seeing Kyle's a Leo, and I'm just like, I really don't get it. Like, she must have
Well,
yeah.
I saw that too, and I was like, "Oh, Leo and Aquarius." I know very well two Leo Aquarius relationships that have been quite long lasting,
Hmm.
but they don't come off. I'm sorry, Kyle does not come off as Leo. You're correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me mute in case you are hearing my lovely sounds in the background.
I'm trying to figure
Yeah.
out what they are. I'm interested now.
Oh, there's,
Um,
There
yeah.
was a mower or
oh,
a
okay.
Oh.
weed whacker or something right outside the window.
Um,
So
yeah, my opinion on these two, agree, boring. I think Bridget showed herself to be desiring someone to tell her what to do. That's my opinion. Every time she liked someone, it was because they were stronger and she wanted Kyle to be stronger. But then, really, what does that mean? She wants herself to be that way, right? She shouldn't be seeking that in another person. And they are two, sometimes, you say opposites attract, but then you go out in the world and you see two crazy people together with a lot of energy and it works. And
Yeah.
with these two, I think they're kind of boring, but you know what? I think it
Yeah.
could work. I don't see anything wrong with their relationship, though I think they both are kind of spineless. And Kyle showed herself to be that way when Pilar has the guts to try to make out with her, and
Right.
she totally wanted it and was acting like she wanted it. And then she's like, oh, you kissed me. You tried to make out with me. It's like, shut the
Clutching her
fuck up. Just
pearls.
make out with her, have some fun one night at the club, and then go home. And you know what I'm saying? Like, figure it out.
Yeah.
It's part of the experiment. You're on the show.
It
Yeah.
was
Like,
frustrating
that was
because
annoying.
Kyle made it kind of like it was without consent, but like
Yes, that was
it didn't
rude.
seem like it really was that way. And so yes, that was kind of rude.
That was
And I felt bad for
childish. Yeah.
Pilar.
There is a
Yeah.
theme here though. There is a theme here in this show, and because I mean it is queer love, right? These are all lesbian couples. And
Hmm.
I think that there were a number, I think Kyle was one of them, that she was like, I'm not fully out, and this is my first. Remember,
Um,
she said that at one point. She
she
said, I'm out, but I'm not fully out.
except we've met her parents and her parents
No,
know she's out.
I
Well,
know,
you
but
mean
she
fully
did.
out.
Yeah, she did say that though. That was the weird thing is
Hmm.
I said that to
Are
my
you
wife.
sure?
Did I mishear that?
She
Yeah,
I
did
don't
say
early
it, and
on.
that's
I
when I
don't
was
remember
really
that.
surprised her parents were
Okay.
so
Yes.
supportive. Honestly, her parents are the best thing about the couple that is Kyle and Bridget. Like,
Yeah,
like
they were
I
cool.
love her parents. They're very cool.
But anyway, what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
you know, it's I think like with Kyle, and it was the same thing where we see the amazing my favorite Megan, who I think
Yes,
is
she's
probably
my
everyone's
favorite too.
favorite, right? Like
Yes.
I'm in love with her. I think I want her to be my best friend. I just want to hang out with her. She seems so cool. But I love to see her growth, and it's like actually a real thing. It's like, wow, it happened on a reality show. But there too, that was like her first relationship, right? So I don't know. It's just kind of a theme in the show, and I found it with Kyle too. The way she acted was kind of immature,
Mm,
you know. But I give her a break, and I have empathy for her because maybe that's the only relationship she ever had because like I'm saying she has not yet fully
yeah.
embraced herself as a gay woman, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? So this show is part of that process because that's part of the thing I think in this show. When you say that on a show like this and like when Megan say it, you're on the show, so you're obviously making a decision to out yourself,
Yes. Yeah.
right? Like
Big time.
you're forcing yourself to confront this issue that you have, and
Mhm.
I find that to be brave in itself. But overall,
Mhm.
them two are boring. And but talking about let's talk about Pilar because I found her to be kind of interesting. Um, and I especially when she kind of went for it with uh with Kyle.
Kyle.
Who was Pilar with again?
She
Haley.
Haley.
And
Haley.
they've been
That's
together 10
right.
years and they've
That's
been together
the
since they were teenagers.
Yep,
And
same
Each
thing.
other's
Pilar is the
first
one who
girlfriends.
is barely out with her family, just two
Right.
years, and they
Yep.
basically have disowned her.
Yeah.
Yes. Which I found on both Megan and Pilar's account. I have empathy for that, but for
Yeah.
the other person in the relationship too, it's kind of selfish. You know what I'm saying? You make the relationship about you. Like that person sitting waiting around for you to become yourself when they're comfortable. It's just it is you have to have it's like a catch 22 is what I'm trying to
Mhm.
say. I'm not saying they're
To
bad
either not
people.
be around your
Right.
family
Yeah.
or just be your roommate, your friend, whatever, around your family for all those years that you were together.
Yeah.
Like that would be hard. It would be hard.
Well, no, I'm saying it's hard on the partner.
No, that's
Yeah.
I'm saying
Yeah.
Yes.
that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No,
Thank
I'm
you.
I think
saying
Right. Yes.
I'm saying
yeah.
that Haley's having to be at family gatherings with Pilar,
And hide
assuming
herself.
that they
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, and just be her friend or her roommate
That's
or
so
whatever.
so
Yeah.
frustrating.
And
Could you
yeah,
imagine?
I think
That's
Megan's been out. Her family is just not accepting of it.
right.
So that's a little
well,
different.
Megan's family is Muslim, and I'm assuming that
Yes.
Pilar's
Yeah.
family is probably Catholic
Yes.
and
Both.
Hispanic. So that's like a heartier Catholic, like, you
Definitely.
know,
A
you know.
heartier Catholic.
I, says the Irish Catholic man.
Yes,
Gina
Oh.
but
knows too.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's certain, like, I don't know. I'm not gonna, you know what? I think y'all know what I'm saying, because there's certain
Yeah.
versions of Catholicism that are a little
Yeah.
more, the people tend
Well,
to
and
stick
certain
with them
people
a
though
little
too.
more,
And
Yeah.
and
certain,
like do
right.
the all the different, having all the candles at home and having,
Right.
all the
Yeah.
things. But other people are more like,
Mother Mary.
they did their catechism classes when they were growing up. They had
Yeah.
Oh,
their
Lord. Oh my God.
communion, and they
What are
go
you
to
trying to give me
church.
flashbacks
I
here, Jenny? What the
know.
hell's going
No,
on
I'm
this
just saying,
episode?
sorry, not to go into
All of a
that
sudden, I'm
whole
seeing
thing,
Brother
but
Kevin coming riding his motorcycle into St. Joe's again. Uh,
so
that
anyway,
was, that was my religion teacher in high school. He was a cool guy. He eventually left the school and left the Brotherhood.
I
But
didn't really get much of a
it's a true
feel for
story.
Haley and Pilar as a couple,
No,
other than,
no,
other than what we know about, Pilar not having come out to her family until a couple years
Yeah.
ago, and that they've been together since they were very
yeah.
young.
But they
Um,
seemed at the end of it though because of that, Jenny. Like it seemed to me that the difference with Megan and what was Megan's name? I forget her name with a D.
Megan and
Dana.
Dana.
Dana, Megan and Dana, is that the Megan and Dana, well, maybe they were both. I mean, as we see eventually, maybe they're both at the end of their rope. But yeah, Pilar and Haley, I just didn't even see it with them. It just seemed like they were kind of tired of each other, you know?
There's an interesting statement made in the next episode about why Pilar and Haley are there.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'll just
Good.
kind of
I'm looking
tease
forward to
Oh,
that.
that.
for fame,
Someone's opinion of why they're there.
for fame, for clout, as they say, Instagram. Uh,
Because they're both really done with each other and looking for someone else.
Oh, yes, I think so.
Wow.
Well, why not?
Huh.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Why
Yeah.
not? You
I
are
mean,
on
if
it.
the opportunity presented itself and they were at that point anyway,
Right.
They're on a
Yeah.
TV show.
yeah.
They're no matter. That's what with reality TV. No matter what, they're on a TV show, right? They're not just normal people who they found off the street. They're on a show. They want to be there. They're going to use it for their career. Even Megan, who we love, is probably going to use this to become an Instagram workout
Yeah.
influencer.
I'd
That's what
follow
she's
her.
going to. That's what she's going to do, right? So you have to take that with a grain of salt. So I don't get mad at when people say something like that on a show. I'm like, who cares? Then
Yeah.
what's the difference if the show is called The Ultimatum, right? And you're trying to decide whether you stay together, then you should have both couples who have already kind of decided to leave each other and couples who have kind of decided to stay together and couples who just don't know, right? So I'm okay with them wanting, obviously, I think, listen, with the rapidity that AJ was picking up those women at the ball, I was like, this is not something she has not been doing for
She has
like,
got
come
swagger.
on.
That
Yeah,
lady's got
but
swagger.
that's practiced. She has not been, and I don't
Like,
believe that
she
all
knows
of
how to
their,
talk to
yeah,
everybody.
but their relationships are not all closed either, is what I'm trying to say. I think that some of them are a little bit maybe more open than they're letting us know from
maybe.
the beginning of the show, which is okay too. But yeah, Haley, I liked Haley. I thought with Haley and Megan, Megan came in there and she was like really scared, right? And
Yeah.
overwhelmed and seemed to be kind of in the continuous panic attack for the first like
Yeah, she
episode
like
and a
didn't
Yeah.
even want to
half.
stay. And she was so
Yeah,
afraid Dana
yeah,
was going to hook up.
yep. And then remember, she was at the bar and they were all kind of talking to each other, and she just started talking to him, and they clicked.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I was like, it's rare you see on the reality TV two people just actually like fall in love before your eyes. But that's what we saw. Like that was it for them. They were gone. And I love the way they continue to do it and hopefully, I don't know, Gina's seen a little bit more, but I hope it continues.
I hope it continues too. And as
Uh-oh.
I said, when someone else posted, I'm like, I love this show. There's, of course, like a trial couple I want to see actually make it into a real couple, but I've always been disappointed with this show in that regard. No one that I've
Mm.
really wanted to stay together
Yeah.
does. And I have the same fear that that's going to happen again this time. I don't
I just
know.
hope
Oh.
Megan does not go back to Dana because
Ugh,
that was
she's the
like
worst.
the toxic
Ugh,
relationship that I saw on here. At
she
least
and
it came
Really?
Mel are
across as toxic.
awful.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
deserve each other. Dana and Mel deserve each other,
Yeah.
honestly. They can go
Hmm.
and be
Um,
bitchy lesbians together and cheat on each
Mel,
other.
Yeah, because Mel isn't very good to Marie, and I feel like Dana uses Megan, but I could be wrong.
I yeah, I Mel to me is yeah, I don't like either Mel or Marie. I don't like either of them. I don't know. I think Marie is kind of I don't know, she makes me uneasy, really.
Hmm.
Um I didn't have such a bad problem with Dana though. I have to admit. Um
I don't think she's a terrible person or
yeah,
anything. I don't I don't like her and she seems manipulative.
And
So,
overly
yeah.
dramatic as well.
that's
Yeah.
true. I mean, you can see, but I mean, if you can't see that coming with those nails and
Right.
the eyelashes and the hair, that's
Yeah.
her aesthetic is being over dramatic. You know what I'm saying? Like that's who she
Yeah.
is. I
But
think
Mel, I do think is a bad person. She's the only one out of that hasn't been honest about screwing around.
she's like, Mel, that was what that was an
That was
all
wild. She
timer.
like sits there and she's like, nothing happened between you two,
Yeah,
right? Oh
no.
no, nothing. And I'm like, dude, she's gonna see the tape and hear the
She's
moanings.
that to me was an all-timer. That's why I wish like sometimes I wish these shows were like on Bravo or something so they could get the good editing where they cut back to the moaning, right? Or they like zoom in slowly on her because she doesn't even look at her. Like she's got her head kind of like that, right? And she's kind of like looking out the window and she's like, did anything happen? She's like, oh no, 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 nothing happened. That she's kind of like hiding her face after she said it.
I feel
I
like
was laughing.
it happened like the
I was
second
cracking
night.
up.
Like
Yeah.
it's just like they just started banging. I'm like,
And what do
okay.
you expect? That's the other thing I don't get with this show too. Like there are some people who are like, okay, that's gonna like when, for instance, it seems like they whenever Kyle and Bridget got over it pretty quick when she said like, yeah, she kissed me, but it didn't seem to be such a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're on a reality show. What do you think you're there for?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I give them
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I give the lesbian seasons of this show props because they actually do cross the line. I think the very first season of Ultimatum we saw some hanky panky happen, but like the last two seasons between the straight couples, it's like
I know. Ugh,
nothing. It's like, oh my God, did you
awful.
go in wearing chastity belts? It's been
I
so
haven't even watched
boring.
the straight
Oh,
seasons. I just watched the queer
I hope
seasons.
they do. I want
yeah.
them to do a gay male season as well,
Well,
right?
I mean, everyone will be boinking.
That's why I want them to do it. That's why I want them to do it. So they can.
You know what I was going to say. And it's not that they are necessarily all having sex the minute they meet, but I was going to say from what I know of the queer community that the lesbian community is considered like when you live in a community like here in Columbus, like the lesbian community, like everybody knows each other, so like everybody's like dated
Yeah.
each other. It's
Oh my
incestuous or
gosh.
whatever.
Yeah.
So that's why when you were talking about who was Haley and Pilar, that they maybe came because so wherever they live, they
They've run
are
through
like, I don't want
everybody.
to date. They know who they all are because they all go to the same hangout places or
Well,
whatever,
we see
and they're
that on
like,
the
I don't
Love
want
is
to
Blind,
date
though.
any of those
Yeah.
people.
Remember we
Yeah.
saw that, Jenny, on Love is
Oh yeah, in
Blind, how they all met
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
all and they're all the
Hmm.
Yeah.
straight. It's the same in any community, right? You get
Yeah.
to know, and then it's smaller, of course, right? so you get to know everybody. But yeah, I think that's probably true. I would, I yeah, I like. I guess I can. I guess they do fool around more. Maybe it's also because having to have confronted their sexuality, it's something that they're perhaps more comfortable with or more fluid with other people. And historically, though that is changing in the past 10 years with gay marriage, where gay relationships have been more open than straight ones.
Mm.
Um, though I remember when gay marriage went through and some when I used to work at World of Video, the old gays used to be like, I don't want to fucking get married. What do you think? I want to be like you breeders? When they
Funny.
seriously, there's some old gay
Mhm.
dudes there who are like, when the day they pass gay marriage in America is the day I turn in my gay card. And I didn't understand it at first. So they're saying because part of our community is that openness, right? Is
Right.
not being slavishly devoted to this ideal of monogamy that is a societal crafting,
Mm.
as they would believe. So I'd never understood that point of view before. But then again, with the old lesbian adage is that you bring the U-Haul on the second date because you're
Oh,
moving
I
in.
thought it was the third date.
I think it's the second.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's the second.
Okay.
Um, and you do see that a little bit here too with this. Like, there is a lot of, I know we've only known each other for a day and a half, but you're going to be in my life forever. You will never not be in my life. Like a lot of the women telling each other, you're always going to be in my life, and telling their parents, this might not work out, but they'll be in my life.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know? And my wife and I were kind of laughing at that because it's also kind of like that like freshman at college thing where you meet everyone the first week and you're like, they are so awesome. And then by like winter break, you're like, if that motherfucker comes back, I am switching schools. Like, I hate them.
Oh my gosh.
Like you love
Yeah.
them so much and then you hate them. And then it happens in the show too. But all right, let's keep it moving. I kind of agree with Mel. I find Mel to be extremely, Mel is a player. That's what Mel is. And that's why I
And
think
she's
both
closed
Mel,
off.
yeah, I think both Mel and AJ were having their fun long before they came on this show. I think AJ is regularly going to clubs, talking to different women, picking them up, having fun, doing whatever she wants to fucking do. That's how I feel about
Hmm.
it. Because you just don't have that game if
Right.
you've been out of the game.
Yeah. Big game for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that
Yeah.
was immediate. She slid right in with those eyes too. She's like, yeah, what do you think? Oh, I'm really good to be here. Just like fuck staring people. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah.
That's what she was doing.
Yeah.
But it
I
didn't
didn't think
really,
that I with her and Marie, honestly, I think that it tanked for them to even have anything when she snuck out in the middle of the night to go
yeah.
see Brittany
Yeah.
Yep,
because
totally.
that got
Agree.
Marie
Yep.
thinking about like okay, I've put this on the line with Mel and we have a business together and so everything is on the line for me here and this may not even work out either because she's over
Right.
here seeing her
Yeah.
ex. So, like, I think that she spiraled from there, and it was
Yes.
really hard
Yep.
for her to recover from that.
You're
And I don't think
100%
AJ
right.
should have been sneaking off in the middle of the night
Yeah.
to see Brittany either.
I think
But
it was partly that, and it was partly her ex not even acknowledging her at the
Yes,
pool.
that
Like
that was
those two
like the
things
cherry on
together,
top.
yeah, it was
yeah.
just like poor
That's a good
thing.
point, Jenny. Jenny, you bring up a good point because you know what? At that point, I respected her for not, for stopping, for like, oh, this is who AJ is. I'm done. But previous to that, she was pretty into AJ. Like, if AJ
Hmm.
had
Yeah.
given it back to her,
Yeah.
she would have been off with AJ, not
Oh yeah.
caring what Mel did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I do think that that's why this show is interesting because some people have said, I do sometimes I'm on the Little Miss Recap show with Amy, and I just recently did that. We covered The Mortician in an episode of her murder she watched. And one of the things she's covered this is said there has been talk that this season hasn't been as dramatic, as interesting as the first season. And that might just be the pairings. Sometimes you just don't, you know what I mean? Like they're not as sparky, I guess, or but I've liked this
Well,
season.
I've liked this season. I think there were actually some very volatile people on season one that were in need of
Yeah.
There
therapy.
definitely were. I
Yes, that's
remember.
But I
true.
like this group better.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I like this group
that's
better.
true.
I think
Because
maybe
you're
I
right.
just find more of them attractive. I don't know.
No, but also you're right, because if really Mel is kind of maybe the worst of the bunch, and it's maybe, I don't know, who did you think was kind of not great? They're not, there's nobody that's a
Oh,
huge villain, is what I'm
Dana
saying. It's
and
like,
Mel are just kind of my
yes,
bleh.
they're not, but
Yeah,
they're not like awful people,
right.
you know? And so I agree with that. Yeah. There's not a lot of huge toxicity going on.
Yeah.
But
So Ashley and Marita, that's a weird pairing. They don't need to be
Very.
together.
Yeah.
Marita
they didn't need
needs
to
to
be
be
on the
shown
show.
love a very specific
They
way.
barely were on the show.
I know. But Marita like needs love to be shown to her in a very specific way.
Yeah.
And she tries to communicate that to Ashley, but Ashley feels like she's doing it. And she explained that to whoever she was with. Who was Ashley with? Who, what did we say? She was with
Oh, she was with Bridget.
Bridget.
Bridget. Yeah, when they were talking about it, she was able
Yeah.
to explain to her, like I do things for her, I clean up after her, I do this and I do that. And that her love language that she expresses love is clearly acts of service.
Right.
And what's her name? Marita needs to have
Romance.
gifts given is gifts
Flowers.
received,
Even if she
receiving gifts
wrote her own little
and
card or something,
and compliments.
Yeah.
She needs her to be giving her stuff, whether it's like tangible things or compliments. She needs that to be shown love, and they are not like able to like get past that, it seems
Mhm.
like. And it's unfortunate because it's like Ashley seems to really care, they seem to really care about each other, except for I think Marita's very immature too.
Oh, she was gonna be the villain if she could have been. From
Yes, and she does,
episode
she
one,
yes.
yeah, she
Hmm.
was trying to be, but she didn't get picked, so she couldn't complete her villainous ways. And she looks exactly like Robin from Sister Wives. Have you ever been Sister Wives? Like with she
No.
has a very square
I
jawed
I feel like
face.
she
She
does look
doesn't look
very
exactly
familiar to
like her,
me.
but she
She
does
looks
kind
like
of
her.
have that
She could be her
square
cousin.
head.
Could she not be her cousin?
Her
If you found
cousin.
out today
She
she
could
was
be
her
her
cousin, you'd
cousin.
believe it. Yep. Say she's Robin's
Yes.
cousin. Confirmed on Daily DVR. Robin's cousin Marita. Yeah, they were ultimate receiver. That's what Netflix says. I liked Ashley. I felt both her and Marita were like 16 years old.
Yeah.
Like they just felt very immature to me. And I don't know, maybe that's their thing or whatever, but and also they didn't give them a lot of time either on the show, right? So we didn't get the depth of them, but I didn't dislike them. I ended up liking Marita more. I thought she was from episode one. I always like to try to pick who's going to be the villain or whatever, and I thought she was going to be the villain. Her or Mel. And I guess Mel
Her and Brittany
kinda,
actually were cute together. Like they would be cute if they like met
yeah.
in the world, and like they would have cute little dates together, and they may not
Hmm.
last long or whatever, but they would have some cute little dates and have fun together, I think. But yeah,
Brittany, because you know what? Who did not get a lot of time in this show either, except for being an accessory to AJ. Um, she was nice though. I liked her,
hmm
but didn't give me, and I didn't even know that she was a nurse.
I think she's really hung up on AJ though.
Yeah, but that's that whole mask femme thing. They have that to a T, um, going on with them too, right? Where
Hmm.
it's very much like that. You could see AJ is just a dynamic personality, but the speechifying was getting a bit much at the table. Like somebody needed to tell, like, chill out a little bit. Like, I mean, I talk a lot, but she was like,
Joanna
the
Garcia Swisher is way
yeah.
too nice to host a show like
Why is she hosting this show? Can you at least have
No.
a lesbian host? Like, come on. Like,
I don't
because she
know.
always has
She's
to say, I'm not in a queer relationship, but.
yeah. Yeah,
And that's like, you
Cheyenne
shouldn't have
from
to say
Reba
that.
and Maddie from what's that show she's on? Sweet Magnolias on Netflix. That's why, because she's on Netflix already. So they
Yeah.
just grabbed her from that show and pulled
Mm,
her in to host this one. I don't know. Does she host the straight version too?
No, that's
no.
Nick
Oh,
and
that's Nick and yeah.
Nick and Vanessa,
You start laughing.
Ladum,
So I guess this
the
is a step
Ladums.
up.
So we
Oh,
talked about it. We talked a lot about AJ,
Yeah.
Brittany. I think we talked about everybody. Pilar, Kyle,
Yeah.
Bridget. Yeah, but I mean, we'll see what. Oh well, we should talk a little bit more about Megan because we mentioned her in passing, but I think she is really the star of this season, without a
it's
doubt.
just so
Yeah.
I
funny how
mean,
she was so skeptical and didn't even
so
want to
so
go into
scared,
it. She was, yes, very afraid.
just scared.
And
Yeah,
then was forced into it. She really liked, I think she was going to be stuck on picking somebody if nobody picked
yeah,
her.
Yeah.
And so it was fortunate for her that Haley picked her. And then they like really, like you said earlier, they kind of fell
bam.
hard.
Hmm.
But it was kind of funny though, because she was so worried about Dana doing something and how she didn't know if she would be able to forgive that. And then she turns
Yeah.
around and she's pointing
So
Haley.
do you think that they realized Dana and Mel were going at it before they actually decided to take the leap into a physical relationship? Because there's that whole thing about
I don't
Yes.
know if they
Yeah.
cared.
access to the Spotify playlist. Well, yeah.
I think Gina's onto
The
something.
playlist was interesting
There's a
though.
Yeah, that was very
timeline
interesting.
discrepancy. Yeah, there's a timeline thing going on here, and also the way that remember who was it that remember Haley was so convinced that Mel and what's her name? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That she was convinced that they were doing that. I have proof, and I guess the
Yes.
proof was the play. It turned out to be
Yeah.
that playlist. So the timeline of when they discovered that and then when they decided to do what they were doing, but regardless, I look to me that they were pretty into each other
Yes. Yeah.
before that occurred.
Very much so.
So I think they probably would have gotten physical anyway.
Yeah.
And they make a better couple anyway. I think
Yeah.
they
Mhm.
make a more
I
even
like
couple,
Megan and Haley together
Yeah.
Me
too.
too.
I think
And
that Megan's great.
Yeah.
the Mel and Dana getting the matching tattoos, that was pretty shitty for Mel's partner Marie because, or whoever it was that there were Dana
Come on.
and I
Dana.
don't know,
Yeah.
whoever it was that were Dana and Megan were supposed to do it afterwards. So, but you
That would
just
piss
go and do a
anybody
matching
off.
tattoo with somebody you've
Yeah,
known
come
for
on.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you went and
I
got a matching tattoo with your friend and didn't tell your husband might be like, if my wife did that, I might be like,
my
oh, you did?
husband
Okay,
wouldn't
Yeah,
good.
care.
Kyle Richards.
There, thank you. Exactly,
Mm.
Gina. I'm just saying that it is an intimate kind of thing to, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that is, sharing something. That's like I know you guys don't watch The Valley though. Do you watch The Valley? I don't
No.
want to. Okay. This dude has his wife's tattoo, her name tattoo, and my wife and I just noticed it last night. They're like, I don't know. That's why you got to be careful. The worst thing is this new trend of people getting like a dead person's face like on their arm or like their chest, and then you have to
Yeah.
like
I
look at that all the time, or like your
You know
kid.
what? Some people like
Not
I've
into it.
seen I have friends who are tattoo artists who like do amazing portraits, dogs and people or other animals too that are just amazing, look
Dogs and
realistic.
people.
Yes. Even like horses and shit like that. It's really cool, but uh
Yeah.
people who have like getting a face tattooed on you, like a
Yes. Yeah.
person's face,
Weird.
to me, I can't imagine doing that, but bully
No,
for you. I
no,
just hope
no,
it looks
no.
like the person and stays looking like the person because gravity
Well,
happens and some
well,
artists are not as skilled as others.
yeah. Well, listen, there's a couple on 90 Day Fiance on the newest season, which is bonkers and a lot of fun, by the way. And the woman has their two children who are very much alive, okay, but older now, on her arm, like right here. So basically, while
Their
this guy's,
faces.
yeah, their faces. So while this guy's basically like having sex with his wife, and her arm is there, and he looks
No.
up, and his kids are looking at him. This is what I'm talking about. Like, this is why you should not get people's faces tattooed on you. It's weird.
Wow.
Okay? It's
I
weird.
never
Funny.
even thought about that
Yeah.
before.
See, these are the things I think
Same.
about. These are the things I think about, people. Because I'm like a
Trip
picture
inside
coverer.
Axel's mind today,
But it's just
kids.
because whenever in
Admission
my
is
life I've been
free.
in a room and we're getting down to it, I'm always one to like turn the pictures around. Like, I don't want people looking at me, even like, because right now Solo's looking at me. I just turn the pictures around. I'm good. I'm like
You are
like
too
Native
much.
Americans, like the soul is in the picture. I'm like, too connected to it. I'm too
You're
visual.
Okay.
too much.
Anyway,
Should
let's
we
transition.
transition? Yes.
Yes,
Oh my
Yeah.
let's do
God, we're
that.
on the same page, Axel, and we don't even have
Go.
notes today.
Oh, but do we want to make predictions for Queer Love? Let's make predictions real quick. Go down the line. Stay together or break up? AJ and Brittany.
Stay
Um,
together.
Stay together.
I agree. Stay together or break up? Haley and Pilar.
Break up.
Break up.
Break up. Agree. Next, Kyle and Bridget together.
I
Right?
think they're
Think they'll
probably going to
stay.
stay together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have anything else to do. Oh, you know what it is? She looks like new wave. It's like 80s new wave, like Flock of Seagulls a
Yeah.
little
Hmm.
bit. Yeah. Mel and Marie together or break up?
Break up.
Oh,
I hope they break
really?
up.
Yeah. They
I
They
need to.
should break up,
okay.
but
They
I
need to.
feel like Marie
I
is
don't
under
think they
Mel's
will.
spell.
Yes,
And
thank you.
so if Mel
Totally agree.
chooses
Yep.
to stay with Marie, Marie will stay with Mel.
I 100% agree with Jenny. Dana and Megan break up.
Break up. I
Break
hope.
up. I hope so
Nice.
too.
Ashley and Marita.
I
I
think
hope
they're
they
gonna
break
break
up,
up.
but I don't. Yeah, they will probably break up.
I think they'll stay together.
Okay.
One thing I do want to give a plus to Marita is being proud of her like scars and all that. I thought that
Mm-hmm.
was kind of cool.
Oh,
Because
Yeah.
I mean, especially, I mean, my son's like 12 and every day he's like doing, like looking at his hair every 2 minutes. Like, that's a big thing to grow up with that. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
like, and not to
Yeah.
get it tattooed over or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, and it
Anyway,
being right there too, because
yeah,
like I have a
exactly.
burn scar from that's really large. It covers like half my thigh. But it's
Really?
on my thigh. And I've had it since I was 4, and I am 52. So I have pretty much had
Oh,
it for my entire
yeah.
life. And it goes from like my hip bone halfway down my thigh, but you only see it when I'm in a swimsuit or if
Right.
I'm getting busy. So
Uh-oh.
it's not like it's not right here on my
Yeah,
chest.
yeah,
Yeah.
And so that was yes, that was very brave of
that
her.
was. I have a big scar too. I had a kidney operate. It goes like
Oh.
they cut me. I have it. It goes from like a whole half of my body. It's like about
Oh
this long.
wow.
Now they can do that operation and the
Orthoscopically.
scar is like this big.
Yeah.
That's what
Mhm.
they told me when I was at the doctor. I was like,
Awesome.
thanks for telling me that. That's wonderful. I had a bag in me. That was when I was
Oh,
5 years old.
geez.
Yeah.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
Yeah. It
Gosh.
was terrible. Yeah.
And
Oh
the thing
man.
is, it's the scar just grew with you because it wasn't
Exactly.
that long because your body wasn't even
No.
that big around.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it grows with you because you got bigger, so did it.
I did get
Wow.
bigger. That's true. All right, let's talk about let's move on from a bunch of lesbians in Miami to a bunch of rich, spoiled kids who maybe we love. Maybe we love some of them. Maybe some of
Some
them
of
we
them.
don't. On Bravo called NextGen NYC. I'm so glad that you all watch this show because when this show was announced, actually like 3 years ago, I was so excited for this show. And the story is that I understand is they shot the show, they did a pilot, and it didn't have any of the other people in what they first shot, like Charlie and all these. They were like
Oh.
auxiliary people, and it was really focused on just the kids of the housewives.
Hmm.
Then they did a second pass on it and they made all those friends part of the show.
Yeah,
Hmm,
because
interesting.
only four of them are
Yeah,
housewife
exactly.
kids,
And there was supposedly, I think there's someone who
and
was
there's
cut.
10 of them on the
There
cast.
was some housewife kid or person who was, I'd have to do more research on it, or else maybe they were going to be on it or whatever. But I know from the beginning it was always going to be Ariana and Gia. That was what it
Mm,
was from the
okay.
very beginning. And then I think Brooks became a part of the show,
Mm-hmm.
and
Riley.
Riley became a part of the show. Now, Ava Dash is an interesting thing because her dad is Damon Dash, who we all know. I mean, I know from New York and Jay-Z and all
Mm-hmm.
that. But did you know that the dude's like virtually bankrupt?
Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah. I was looking it up. I was like, I wonder what her trust fund is. So when she talks about making her own money, she's actually honest about it. She really
Hmm.
is one
Well,
of
her
the
Interesting.
mom's a
only kids
designer
making her
too,
own
so
money.
she
Probably
could
gets
get
money
money
from,
from
yeah,
her mom.
good point. Her mom is still very wealthy, but she does work a lot. I looked that up and she actually
Yeah.
does work a ton. She does a lot of
Interesting.
different work, not just like, she does like a lot of print stuff, not just big stuff. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So she keeps
Yeah.
Hmm.
working. But her father is like, it's a story which I didn't know about, but he supposedly made a lot of bad investments. And so, whereas Jay-Z is like a multi-bazillionaire billionaire, he has like a couple
Right.
$100,000 to his name, which is not broke, but in this world, it's broke.
Hmm.
When your
Yeah.
kid thinks that you didn't, now Gina is not, has not seen last night's episode. Um, there
No, but you
was,
guys can talk about it. It's okay
okay.
because there's a big fight, right?
There was a, oh well, there's always a big fight, but there was
Well,
two important like things that did occur. But before we get into it, I do want to ask. I'll start with you, Gina. What are your impressions of this show? What are some of the characters you like, don't like? Because I know, do you watch? Do you did you recognize all the housewife kids, or what's your history kind of with it?
yeah, I did recognize the housewife kids. I mean, they were I didn't really watch Atlanta that much. I did watch it in the early days when I think both of these two were on. So of
Yeah.
course it's weird to see them as
All
adults
grown up.
now. Yeah, like they
The
did a
clips of
flash.
them as little girls, I'm
Oh,
like, and
I
when they were
know.
saying we were so chubby, they were little chubby girls, but they
so
were so
cute.
cute. It
Yeah.
was so
Yeah.
funny.
But I like both these girls. I like Ariana. I think I was a little worried because it's Kim Zolciak's daughter, but I think she's a little more with it than her mom is, and clearly has been
Yeah.
screwed over by her mom financially, it sounds like. So, I like her. I think she's just kind of a little quirky, and ditzy, but I think she's basically a good person. And I like Riley a lot too.
Me too.
I loved her mom on the show. Her mom was probably one of my favorites, Candy. So, yeah, I like him. You know, I like Gia better on this show than when she tries to butt her head into Housewives business. It's kind of refreshing to see her like among peers versus being put in these horrible situations by other adults.
She has the
So
prettiest eyes.
she does. She really does. And then I love Brooks. Love him. So cute. Love
He
that
is a
He,
kid.
cutie.
yeah, he turned me around. Brooks really
You
turned me
didn't
around.
like
I
him
was not a
before?
fan of his on Salt Lake City, mainly
Oh,
because I
We
think
don't
they. Oh, go ahead.
we don't get much of him there
That's
though.
what I was
yeah.
That's
gonna
all I
say.
was gonna say.
Yeah, we see him through the eyes of Meredith, and anything through the eyes of Meredith is distorted and strange and just
You know
Yeah.
like
what's
dark and weird.
distorted and strange? The fact that she married Seth.
That dude is so,
So freaking weird.
You mean
and
Charlie
also
Sr.?
and the way they also yeah, Charlie, and they have inserted themselves into this show to
Oh my
such
God.
dramatic effect. The whole storyline of this latest episode is setting up an event for Meredith's caviar. That's
Mhm.
like a huge part of this episode, and they've really inserted themselves into this show. I didn't
Yeah.
realize there could be such a big part of it, but I like Brooks. I was not a fan
Yeah.
of his from Housewives, but now that I kind of he is a little bit too. I think in his inability because his mother's so overbearing, he doesn't want to speak his mind and cause drama ever, and that does result in him being slightly spineless and not really standing up enough sometimes for people he should.
I think he's just
But
very
he's 25.
non-confrontational. I think
Yeah.
that
Yes.
confrontation gives him
Yes.
anxiety
But
to a major
that's,
level.
and as a
Yeah.
result, that's what happens when you're non-confrontational. A lot of
And
times
it
people don't
probably
think you're
also
standing up
comes
for them.
from his mother,
Yeah.
like, because, like,
She
who would want
is,
to stand up to her?
yeah. She's pro-confrontational. She is confrontational. Like
Yeah, Ron,
that's who she
She
is.
you
is
can leave
confrontation.
now.
You
Yes.
can leave.
My husband. Oh my God. Yeah, she is a classic, really. I love having them on the show though. Like I think Seth is such a weird dude, but then
So
again,
cringe.
I have known,
So
have you not known like either an older guy or older woman who's like this, who thinks it's kind of cool to talk about, try to always talk about young things and especially insert your sexuality into it, asking everyone if they're
He's
fluid
so
and
fucking weird,
and
bisexual?
though.
that's what he wants to be. He's
Thank you,
definitely having a
Gina.
midlife crisis. I mean, I think
Yep,
he has
yep,
been for probably ever since
yes.
Salt Lake
Yeah.
City started. But
He had an experiment that he enjoyed, and now he wants to ask every little kid if they did it too. And it's really weird, and he should be talking about that with some
It makes him
adults.
seem
Not
like a
a,
creeper, like for
yeah.
real.
Even
yeah,
though they are like 30, they're like 20, they're not actually little kids. They're like 25, 30 years old. They
Yeah,
are
but they're the age of his
technically
kids.
adults. But yes, they
yeah.
are. Well, unfortunately, as you know, Jenny, you get to a certain, like you have to talk to somebody. Your kids get old, you get old. But it is strange. I thought it was kind of nice that when he first said he was going to talk to Charlie, I wasn't sure whether he was going to be the same weird person he was to Brooks. And then, of course, he was, and he was just trying to get him to like him. It was
Yeah,
really
he's
weird.
he's weird.
Yeah.
I wish Seth would not be there. I mean, I don't mind Meredith being there or like Seth being there as a Meredith accessory, but I don't like him being there as Brooks's dad.
Yeah. Well, let's see
Because
too.
I
How
want less Seth because he is comical and whatever, but he's so cringy. It's just like uncomfortable. He makes me uncomfy, as lots of people say these days, but I
Oh
hate that
my
word.
gosh,
But he does.
uncomfy.
He's like
I
so
know he is.
cringe.
He is definitely
But
cringe.
so I don't watch all the housewives shows. I've seen some of the housewives on other shows like the House of Villains or the Traitors. Also on some BravoCon panels and things like that. I think Ariana is interesting. Like, I don't have much of an opinion of her. Like, I don't dislike her. She seems okay. Her boyfriend seems okay. I do like Riley and I like Gia too. And I like
Wake it up in
Teresa.
the
I haven't
morning.
watched the
Sorry.
Housewives, Teresa, but I
Oh,
have seen her on the Traders and whatever show, whichever one she was on. And she's entertaining as hell. And
okay.
but
She is a
Gia, I
sociopath. I
yeah,
do want
yeah,
to make it
yeah.
plain
I
that
think
she
she
is
was on House
amazing
of
television,
Villains.
but she's
Yes.
fucking nuts.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
Yeah,
believe it.
she's a classic. She's the table flipper. You
I
can't.
yeah.
believe
She
it.
is top five reality TV people of all time, Teresa.
Yeah.
She's
I
amazing.
was she on I think she was on House of Villains, right? I
Yeah.
don't know. And I liked her on
Yeah, she
there. I
also,
thought
yeah,
she
she
was fun.
was. Yep.
But
Yeah.
I really am liking Gia so far. She is inserting
Gia.
herself a little too much into other people's problems. But I mean, it's not bad to stand up for your friends, but you also need to allow your friends to speak it up for themselves and not just be their mouthpiece or whatever.
Well, that's, she's from fucking New Jersey. You know how
Yeah,
those
that's
people are.
true.
See, they
Yeah.
can't keep their mouth
Honestly,
shut, Jenny.
she's been pretty subdued on the show considering who her
Yeah,
mother is.
she
Like,
is.
Mhm.
I'm
She's been
it's
Mhm.
very
impressive,
Oh, I
subdued.
even know
honestly.
that just from what I've seen of Teresa. So
I'm
yes.
like, oh,
Um, I
I
pretty much I like Ava so far.
yeah.
She
Wait, who?
seems
Which one's
okay.
Ava? Which one's
The
Ava?
Ava
oh,
Dash.
yeah,
Ava
Ava
Dash.
Dash.
She's yeah. I mean, you
She's
know what?
okay.
I also think that yeah. I mean, I don't know. She is definitely she. Yeah, she's a kid. Well, I'm trying to look at their ages again, and the only one they don't have is for some reason they don't have the age of Georgia, but Ava's 25.
Well, George is not
Yeah,
going to tell her name.
she's
She's the it
what's that?
girl. She doesn't want to
Yeah, I know.
outage herself from that.
We're gonna talk about her because she is like she's so New York, but I don't
I
have
knew
a
you
problem
were
with
going to
Ava.
say
She's
that. I
just a
don't
little
really, she's weird. I'm like, she's not
Georgia.
my cup of tea, but she's not like hateful or anything. She's
Yeah.
just uh, an interesting personality. I don't
Who
like
are you talking
Charlie.
about? Who are you talking about?
Georgia.
Georgia?
Georgia, yeah.
Oh, wait, let me tell you about Ava. I like Ava. She's okay, but she is definitely the way she was to Ariana, who is my favorite. I love Ariana. I remember when she was a little kid on that show. Kim Zolciak reminds me a lot of my mother.
Mm.
So when I saw when she was little, she was a little chubby, right? Like her mom used to kind of make fun of her, and then her sister Brienne started getting all the work done and all that. She seems to have not had a lot of work done, though she definitely does have the fillers and the whatever. I like her and her boyfriend's style too.
Yeah.
I kind of dig it. Like I disagree with Ava,
Yeah, I
where
don't
she
know
was like,
why
"Oh,
she
you're a
was saying
fashion."
that. Like,
I totally
Weird.
disagree. I think that they definitely project
and
having.
maybe
I
she
don't,
wasn't really
you
meaning
know.
it, and Brooks took it serious, but
I think
she
she
kind
was.
of
I think
doubled
she was
down when
being.
he asked if she was being serious. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's not that great.
I
But
don't
George,
think she's a
but
terrible person, though.
no, no, she's just like a rich kid in New York. She's a
Yeah.
dime a dozen. But she is also, I should say, she's gorgeous. So when you're living in
Yeah.
Manhattan and you look like her and you dress like her and Damon Dash is your dad, you have a certain attitude.
Yep.
And she has that attitude. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of comes with it. That's why I like Ariana though, because she doesn't have that. She's like very real. She's kind of like nervous a lot, and like. But
Yeah, I
the
don't dislike
yeah,
Ariana. I just haven't
Yeah.
seen enough of her to have an
yeah.
opinion. She hasn't shown her personality enough other than arguing with Ava about that. And I just feel like, yeah, Ava shouldn't have said it, but they're all young and stupid and you say dumb
Um,
things. Um, but I feel like they made it more dramatic because it's televised. They made it
I'm
more dramatic for TV.
You know what? I'm trying to look at George's picture here that they have on the Bravo website, and
Hmm.
I'm like, is that even her? Like everyone else looks like,
Now I need to pull it up. I
Well,
was
she
like,
has
why are you?
bangs in that photo. I
but
think
even
this
if
is
you
her
zoom
glammed
in,
up.
yeah, even if you zoom in,
Ariana
it's like
Behrman,
they all look
Riley
pretty much the
Burris,
same.
Ava
But she looks, I
Dash.
mean, she is an invented person. She is a classic
Yeah.
New York story.
Gia
And I kind of like, I'll say that
Block.
I I did
Yeah, that's
spend
her. She just her bangs are more blunt there.
yeah, it's a lot. But
And she's got it
it
very
reflects her
sleek and
though.
she's got her makeup done too.
Yeah.
And it seemed like she was going a little more makeup free and her hair was frizzier and stuff like that
Yeah.
while they
She's
were
more
filming.
natural.
Like this
Yeah.
is just
Glamour shot.
Oh, and
yes,
she always
exactly.
says God, does she say Gen Z enough? Please gag me with a spoon. But I think that I like this cast because the reason why is because of the inclusion of her and the inclusion of Shy is his name, I guess. Shay and the
Shy.
Shy and the other bisexual OnlyFans kid,
Oh, yeah. I don't even know
Dylan.
Charlie's roommate,
he's
Dylan.
on
Dylan.
this page. Yeah.
He's
They
not on the
that
page,
No,
but
he's
his
not
name
on the
is
page.
Dylan.
But those three, the inclusion of those three to me is what kind of makes this show, and Charlie too, makes this show a bit more interesting to me. than just, I'm glad that they didn't just do the Bravo kids,
Yeah.
because I think that Georgia is so typically New York. Like she talks about, like her father, she didn't come from money. Everything is about projecting, like fake it till you make it. And that is such a New York thing. I mean, I lived in Manhattan and Jersey City all my 20s, and I met so many people like Georgia. And I have to have a little respect for her. I don't like her. I find her incredibly annoying. But she
Yeah, I
is
find her annoying too.
she is an invented person, right? Like everything about her is fake. Everything is about her is Bitcoin and her
Yeah.
boyfriend who she doesn't really like and who you didn't see. Wait till you get to this episode, Gina, when he tells her, "I love you," and they both just laugh.
Oh, interesting.
It's like it's a really weird.
She doesn't believe him because he
Yes,
told
it's
somebody else too quickly.
that I'm sure that's the real thing. It's not just because she's with him so she can get
Yeah.
his Bitcoin and start her business.
He
It has
Right.
doesn't
nothing to
look
do with that.
like she even says that he's not like what you would expect her to be with. And
You mean Charlie? Because that's who she was fucking when she was living in his house the whole time, and they all but just talk about it in the show. I mean, that's my
Oh,
impression,
is that
right?
what they is that what we happens in the big fight? Like I didn't
No,
realize they
well,
had been a
no,
that
couple.
is
no.
I to me that was the undercurrent of the fight between
Hmm.
them. It was about a missing speaker this episode, Gina.
Oh
But the
Yeah,
boy.
really
so
to
she had
me,
borrowed a speaker for a party, and then
he
he
wouldn't give it
texted
back.
her and asked her for it back, and
Oh
she
no,
didn't,
yeah,
and
she
she
wants it
didn't.
back.
And then he called her when she was setting up for Meredith's
It
party, and
does.
she's like, I can't do it right now. And then he's texting her, and she's like, I'm busy right now. And like he finally gets the speaker back from her,
Wait, why
and
is
then
there a
at the
thumbs
end
up
of the
there?
episode they show up to have lunch or something together, and it's her and her business partner and him,
And
Charlie.
he's disgusting to her, and he calls her a
Yeah,
bitch and yucky and a slut
and
and
he
all
tells
this
her
terrible shit.
that
He's the worst.
she wouldn't even be on the show except
Without
for
him.
him.
Yeah.
He blah 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 this and
But
that, and then
Jenny,
he
did
rips off
you
his microphone and leaves.
but he does politely give it to the sound guy. He says, "I'm sorry, man, here." Um, I do want to say though, you did not get the impression. I got this impression episode 1. I said to my wife,
Oh.
Georgie or
She
whatever
had
has been
been
fucking
staying with
Charlie.
him. She stayed
Yeah.
with him for a while because
Yeah.
he was talking to his roommate at some point in the episode about the whole speaker situation because he was being a petty little bitch. And
Shocker.
over a Bose speaker, a $200 Bose speaker
Oh
or
my
something,
God.
No, it was about
acting
his
like it
heart.
was the heart of the sea diamond or something.
Part
But
of the sea
he
diamond.
said that um she was homeless, and Dylan said, well, clearly she's not homeless because she's got your speaker somewhere.
Yeah.
But he said, well, I don't know where she's staying or something like that, that she since she was staying here or sleeping at my place or whatever. He
But
mentioned
did
something
you
about her having been staying at his
right,
place for a
right.
while.
Did you not am I the only one who thought that they were
You know,
sleeping like
I don't
together
think I
before the
picked
show
up on
started?
it because I feel like Charlie is so into Ava that that's kind of where I gravitated towards his
You know
interest
what's
being.
you know
Hmm.
what's funny is somebody who asked Sava that
Someone did on the
Brooks, is it
show.
Brooks?
Yeah,
Brooks
yeah.
asks her,
Yeah.
and
She's like,
she says
no.
no,
She
no. He
laughs it
said
off
he
because
would get with
is
Ariana.
can I ask you another question? When the show started, they made it out like Charlie gets with all these girls, but I'm under the impression that he actually doesn't. He hangs out with a lot of girls, but none of them want to be with him. And I think Georgina is the only, or whatever the fuck her name is,
Georgia.
Georgie.
Georgie
Georgia.
is the only one who would get with him because they're both, she was just
Maybe.
like using him.
And I didn't catch it, but I was not like
I think
fully
that's what's
paying
happening.
attention. I
Hmm.
I
had
think
it
that's
on my
exactly what
phone,
happens.
and so
I think
Interesting.
they feel
I
bad. All
don't
the people
I
feel
don't
bad
not
for
believe
him.
it.
Yeah,
Well,
I think that's what it is.
and the thing, like, if we're going to compare, like, I can't wait to see him say all that horrible stuff about her just so I can be like, you're just a freaking jerk. But he does nothing. He's got a trust fund and does nothing. And she's like throwing all these, trying to throw these like
She's trying.
creative
Yep.
party planner in
Yeah.
New York City. And,
Oh yeah,
she's
and
like,
he's like
I
owing
did this
everybody
party and
thousands of
this one.
dollars.
And, and she's got something to
That's the
be
other
proud
thing in the
of.
last episode.
Yeah.
And he can't
Yeah.
even talk to his dad about, oh, you're 30 now. What does your future look like? It's like,
Gina, this all
yeah,
comes out in this
it
episode. And one
does.
of the important
Yeah.
things in this episode is, I think, and this is why I really do love Bravo, because they're snarky and all that, but they'll craft this season. And really, this season kind of has been about this guy, Charlie, right? And how he is kind of like the epitome of these kids. Are they going to be him, or are they going to do something with their lives? And by the end of this episode, there's a scene where someone's saying exactly what you're saying, Gina. They're like, he
Mhm.
doesn't have a life. He gets
Yeah.
up, he smokes pot. I think it's Georgie is saying it. He
Georgia.
smokes pot, he plays Xbox, and then he parties all night. And then he's riding around on his
Rides his
skateboard.
skateboard. Or
And
sometimes he'll ride on his
let me
electric
tell you something,
scooter.
folks. Let me tell you something, folks. If you're in Manhattan, having been a person who has experienced this, and a dude like that comes riding down his skateboard, there's no one looking at him going, what a cool guy.
Right.
Everybody's looking at him going, what the fuck? How old are you, dude? Like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he looks like he
Wow.
dressed himself up to go skateboarding. You know what I mean? Like his pants cost like $4,000 or something like that, and he's skateboarding down the street in New York. He's gonna mess up the cuffs. He's a sad dude, and they make it
Yeah.
out that way on the show. So I have a prediction. That's why I want to bring this up. Would you like to hear my prediction? I know
Yeah.
you do. I predict that perhaps not by the end of this season, but if this show is renewed, which I think it will be, because I think it's getting good ratings, um, he will be he will turn himself around. He will reject his father. He will turn himself around, get some sort of job, and this guy Charlie is gonna come out. He's not gonna become a great guy. I don't know if he'll ever be a great guy, but he's gonna turn himself around. That's my prediction.
I
And
just remembered. Go
he's gonna
ahead.
turn himself around by going on Vanderpump Rules.
Well, I
That's
was going
gonna
to
be
say, he's an American story, a rich white kid who, for
I
no
was just
reason, is going to get the benefit of the doubt and turn himself around. That's what's
I
going to
was
happen.
remembering his mom's boyfriend or husband or whatever,
Oh my
talking about the
God.
other guy that she used to,
Well,
that
that's
wanted to get with
sad.
her or whatever, and the 9-inch penis. And then
yeah.
he
His
says something
relationship.
about, I'm English, we're all a little light or something like that. I was dying. I was like, you are goofy, man.
That guy is goofy, but did you see his mom? Like, she's not a parent, just like his father.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
parents. His
Yeah.
father is weird. I had a similar situation like this that I've experienced, but let's just say it was in my family, where for some reason the older male dad was felt like he was in competition with the
Mhm.
son or something. Like, it's
Yeah.
very strange that I did not have a relationship like that with my father at all. But when I see that with people, I always feel really bad for the kid. And I
Mm.
always feel like the dad is super immature and mentally unstable. Because how do you, like, it's just weird the way he was, I don't
There
know, the
are
way their
women who are like
relationship
that with their
is.
daughters too.
I don't get that
It's
at
sad.
all.
Yeah.
I haven't
You know,
experienced, I guess I can kind of try
I
to
think it's like a
understand it, but
personality type.
it's
I
weird.
honestly think it's a personality type.
Yeah, I couldn't
I'm not
imagine that.
convinced though that his dad is. I mean, he says his dad was kind of absent, but I think his dad at least seems to have structure and expectations, which is more than a lot of parents have for their kids. Like I don't. I'm not quick to blame this. Oh, he has
Oh, I'm
daddy
not
Yes,
issues,
I
blaming. Yeah.
but
agree. I
I don't
agree,
think
Gina.
it's
He's an
the dad's
adult.
fault at all.
I
Yeah.
can, you know what? I had the same conversation with my wife last night. We were talking about that
Yeah.
because I thought it was rather affecting at the end. It actually
Mm,
was about this kid. And we were talking about the competition thing. And then we both were kind of like, look, he's not a kid. He's 29. And if
yeah.
he should have tried to figure this shit out when he was 16, 17, 18. If he didn't have the guts to face that or to say, hey, dad, I'm not taking your money anymore because you treat me like this, which he actually, you want to know something? He could actually do that. Do you know that? That's actually a thing that kid could do. He could say to his dad, I don't want your money. You can't control me. I'm an adult. I'm going to go off and never talk to you again. You can do
Yeah.
that when you're an adult, but he is a child.
Yeah.
You know, he
Well,
wanted to remain a child, so he is.
and his first line of this bio of him on this page says, Charlie Zakor is a crypto trader and private investor who's been ruling NYC's club scene since he was 14
Yeah,
and knows everyone and their secrets. It's
yeah.
like,
Club
I
kids.
mean, did he go to
Mhm.
college? I'm looking that
You
up
know, he
now.
has a
Well, he
master's.
did. He
Yeah,
has a
No.
master's in
yeah.
hospitality.
Hospitality.
Oh, Jesus.
He
Well,
could
because
throw a
he's a
banging
clubber.
party. What do we now? There's some other characters on the show that we have
He
not
said
talked
it
too
was to
much
get
about.
his dad off his back, so uh with the masters. But the thing is, like,
Yeah.
it still takes a lot of freaking work. I mean, unless he paid somebody else to do the work for him, like, that's a lot of work.
Ding,
But
ding, ding, ding,
still.
ding. I think you figured it out,
Some
Jenny.
master's programs are not a lot of work.
I think
Oh,
Dylan
really?
has a master's in hospitality because why? How do you think he's living in that apartment? Probably rent free. That kid is the kid. That's again who I find really interesting. That kid, there's kid Shay who comes from nothing too and just became
Yeah.
friends with everyone and
Yeah.
walks up and talks to everybody
And
and
helped
meet,
Brooke sew.
yes, and is
Yeah.
helping. Yeah,
It's
I
cute.
like these are the interesting. That's New York to me because you find all these people who like just like live by living off of other people and living off of rich people. And there
Yeah.
is like a whole subsection of like Manhattan of these people. A lot of times, though, they travel in and out of New York.
Yeah.
Like they're coming from Europe and then right? And then they just live off someone. But to
Yeah.
these kids in action is pretty. What did we think of Riley? Riley Burris. I mean, she's only 22. She's very, very young. I think she's very immature. I think she's sweet though.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
I, but overall, I thought the whole not remember in the beginning when she didn't wash her hand, she wouldn't shake her hand.
That was lame.
No, I wouldn't shake her
Yeah,
hand either.
they did make too much of that.
Yes. Yeah.
I
But that
mean,
was they were
they
looking for something
harped
to
on
talk
it for
about.
like
Yeah, they
two and a
did.
half
Yeah,
episodes.
it was.
Yeah.
It was a
But
little too long and drawn out.
But conversely, when Charlie was being completely oblivious to his racist ways,
Right.
she was totally right and should
Yep.
have kicked him in the nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And as should have Ava as well, who was
Mm-hmm.
there when that was happening, as should have some of the other people. And I'm surprised that's it. That was an incident in which Brooks didn't, I felt, should have stood up more for them and who he understood what was going on.
Yeah.
Especially having gone through the shit he went through with his sexuality, with another cast member outing him on
Right.
Mm-hmm.
his mother's show,
Yeah.
right? Like we know about that as show watchers,
Yeah.
so it's like he should have stood up for her a little bit more.
Yeah.
But that was typical. I worry we live in this MAGA world and country now, and we don't want to get into it too much. But I do like that this show is still, at least they bring something like that up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because as we even watch reality, we may see subject matters like this and these type of people not on our television shows as much as we used to.
Right.
Especially
Yeah.
Well,
like you see Bravo welcoming
Well,
like the
and
we
McBean
haven't even talked
dynasty
about
on and everything.
Amira.
Amira. Yeah.
Yes,
Amira
we're going
being
to
a
talk, of
trans
course.
woman, yeah.
But she's not. I feel like she's not really in the show a lot, and I
You
feel
know
like that's because
why?
she's actually doing stuff.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
She's got a life
yeah,
and
she's
she
got a
works
life.
and she is
Yeah,
doing all sorts of stuff, which is
yeah,
great. Like she comes in,
yeah,
beautiful to look at. She's kind of like, what are you like little non-worker cretins doing? Look
yeah.
at me. I'm so beautiful.
And always says the right thing too. Is always
Yeah.
like that person was rude. They should have been nicer. I don't play. I'm not. I'm no. I don't bully people. I would love more of her. I love her
Yeah.
boyfriend too. I thought that
Yeah.
that
So
story was really
sweet.
interesting to me.
Yeah.
So I would like more of her. Hopefully, as the season progresses, maybe this Charlie thing is only like the first arc, and then we get more because I don't need the whole season to be about spoiled rich Charlie.
I know
I'd like,
because
I.
he gets on my damn nerves
But
anyway.
it's so
Like his
obvious
behavior.
too.
Yeah, it's like, come
It's like it's
on,
not
dude,
deep.
grow the fuck up.
I feel like we're
What
going to see someone kick his ass
I
eventually. And
uh,
I don't know if
uh,
it's going to be Amira or Hudson.
um, well, let me tell you something. I I think are either of you fans or have know the Black Crows?
Yeah, I
I
know who they are.
Okay.
remember them.
Yeah.
Do you remember Rich Robinson, the guitarist, the better looking brother?
Not
The
really.
okay.
I can't
If
picture
you
them.
if you
It's been too long.
type in right now Rich Robinson 22 years old and he looks exactly 100% he is the twin of Hudson. The
Really?
twin. Like you will be shocked. You'll be like, "Holy shit, that looks like it could be his son." Now you're going to tell me I'm wrong. Wait, Gina's looking. Oh, this is live
I'm
on the podcast, people.
trying,
Oh,
looking
Trying.
for an image.
Rich Robinson,
Oh my
guitarist,
gosh.
Black Crow.
Yes. I
Thank
see it.
you.
I see it. Like, not
Who is
like
he supposed
close
to look?
enough.
Who is the
The
person
guitarist,
on
Rich
the cast
Robinson, for the
of
oh,
the show?
Ariana's boyfriend, Hudson.
Yeah.
Ariana's
There's
He
boyfriend,
does,
Hudson.
definitely,
yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
he
Okay.
does.
Except for
So
the
he looks
hair.
exactly
That
like him.
guy's hair is not curly. It's just wavy.
Well, it was at a certain point in time.
I see.
And having
Well,
seen them live
Yeah.
a bunch of times, when I saw this kid, I was blown away. I was like, "Holy shit, that's Rich Robinson. He looks exactly like him."
You never know. It
But
could be his love child.
he was a fighter, and I know he'd throw a bunch of punch. I think that if they got into a fight, I don't think Charlie would last 1 second. I don't think that kid's ever been in a fight in his life.
Right. Exactly.
I
Exactly.
think Hudson's been in some fights. I would guess that even though he supposedly does come, he probably comes from a rich family too in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Um, but
he
I
does.
like
His
him.
dad is the owner of the Zaxby's fast food
Oh yeah,
chain.
see,
Yeah.
but he
Which I'd
looked.
never heard of before.
I
So it
kind of
must be
like
a
his. I'm not as much a
I've been
fan.
to the South many times and
aha.
seen it. You probably saw it when you lived in North Carolina,
Oh,
didn't
I've had
you?
plenty
Yeah.
of Zaxby's chicken.
Zaxby's?
Yeah,
It's
of
like a
Yeah.
course.
yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a chicken place.
it's
Chicken and
better
biscuits,
than.
right?
Listen, man. You know what? The biggest joke is that fucking. What's that place closed on Sunday? The
Oh,
chicken.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A
Chick-fil-A sucks ass, man. Come on, get the fuck out of
for
here.
many
Zaxby's is better than
reasons.
Chick-fil-A. Um, but it's not that my wife, I shouldn't say it. My wife is going to listen to this and get mad at me. I have cooked a Chick-fil-A chicken. You know how you do it? You marinate the chicken in pickle juice.
Oh,
It
interesting.
works. It does. And you know what? You want to know what the
Dill or
best thing?
sweet?
Either you can do either way, but we did it with dill, like
Okay.
like what
And
you
then
would
bread
like New
it.
York kind of deli pickles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
also, a great thing while we're talking about cooking, a great thing to marinate chicken in,
What?
buttermilk.
Oh, yeah.
Buttermilk.
Yeah.
That's always good too. Always like it. Jenny liked when I did the little pointer thing.
I was like, what
Anyway,
is he trying to
I'm just fucking around. I like Hudson. I like Hudson's style, but I have to say this. My wife thinks I'm crazy, that I think Ariana is very pretty. I think she's very beautiful. If she styled herself differently, I think that it would work better for her. Or if she went harder into the kind of, it's a little LA rockish, that they're a little more LA than they are New York, I think. I don't
Mm,
think they really
I agree.
understand New
yeah,
York.
maybe,
Yeah.
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Agree.
Like,
And they don't
but
know what they want to do really either.
I
no,
Like when
know.
they
they
had that
don't
meeting with the
know, but
guy, they were kind of all
yeah.
No.
over the place.
But I see what
Babies.
they're going for.
Yeah.
I kind of see what they're going for, but she also, everything she wears has to be like super tight on her, which I don't think is very flattering but I don't think it's very stylish too. It looks a little WT, but that's kind of Kim to a T. You know what I mean? Like,
I think she's a very pretty girl
it's
too. I
very,
think
yeah,
that sometimes
I
she
like her a
is
lot.
styled better than other times. Like some of her photos in particular, she looks fantastic. But then like when
She's
she is
discovering it.
dressed in
Yeah.
person, she's like got something fashiony
Yeah.
on, but
But
it's like a little bit
it's
much
not
or
enough though. I
overdone
think she
or
should
like
commit to it. Like, I
yeah,
think
yeah,
Hudson
yeah, it's
commits to his style more than she does.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Because I'm into it. Like, I could see her being, if she wants to do some kind of fit, and I like that's
And
what
she
she
doesn't
wants
look
to do it.
bad. It's just
No, it's just she could look better. She could
yeah.
flatter herself better. And also, like I said, Hudson is leaning into that kind of LA-ish, rocky, star-ish type of look, but she's kind of going in between it. A little bit too much of that. What do they call that? Like casual? No, it's like athletic wear.
Oh, athleisure wear?
Athleisure.
Yeah, it's like athleisure. Exactly. Like yoga pants and all that, you know what I mean? Like all that, like
Yeah.
really super tight. And I guess the mom waist, like the high waist is a back, it's back in now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
bringing
It's been,
things all the way up, right?
yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
back there. We're back to the 90s.
We are. I see kids around here in Portland wearing the huge big pants all the time.
The
Yes.
Junkos or
The junk.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh man. Gosh, those were the days. I
We
remember
are old.
there would be these like girls walking around Rutgers with pants that like you could fit like 6 or 7 of them inside those pants.
The Z
You know
Cavaricis,
what I'm
you mean? I have a
saying?
few of
No,
those.
Cavaricis were like the eight. That was more like
Late
Jersey
80s.
Shore. That's yeah,
That was a lot of
right.
places. The Z
I
Cavaricis.
I
Yeah.
guess that's true, but that's what I think of. Like, all right, did we talk about everyone on this show?
I think we
Pretty
did.
much.
I like this show a lot. I hope it comes back for another season. Do you all like this
It's
show
it's
enough?
it's better than I thought it would be.
Okay.
Yeah. At first I was like, no.
The
And
Yeah.
first
on
episode
it,
was kind of
yeah.
lame.
It
Yeah,
got
but I
better
was
though.
like,
It got
Yes, it
better.
it's
did.
like
It
okay.
improved.
I like it. All right. Well, we've been talking for like an hour and a half. Is there anything that either of you want to chat about? I don't have to go anywhere, or we could end the show, whatever you'd like to do. Live on the air, deciding.
Um,
Looks like
Other reality stuff, and I'll stick to that genre since that's what we're talking about. I'm watching this season of Alone, which is taking place in South Africa, which is amazing.
I have
Very,
not been watching it because I YouTube TV doesn't have History Channel.
oh, it's very different from the icy Canadian and other winters they've had so far. So
Yeah, I
that's
want to
kind of
see it.
cool. And I'm watching American Ninja Warrior this season. I watched it like 10 years ago and loved it. Um, and I'm watching it again for, I don't know, inspiration. Oh,
Yeah.
Below Deck,
Oh
Down Under.
yes.
So
Yes.
good.
I'm
Still
So
need to
lukewarm. I'm
good
check
this
liking
that
it.
season.
out.
Yeah. Are you watching that, Jenny?
I said I
Below
still need
Deck?
to check that out.
Oh,
No,
oh,
not
okay. I
yet.
didn't hear you. Yeah, it's fun. And Gina, don't you like? I was listening. Actually, there's a website I've been going to for literally 25 years called Reality Blurred about reality TV,
Oh,
and
uh-huh.
he had a podcast today where he was talking about the new editing style this season for Below Deck. How
Yeah.
they're like zipping through some of the more boring guests, like,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I think
It's
it's really cool. The
and
titles,
they didn't
everything.
zip through the 5 days they spent with the gay male porn stars, which
Because that was fun,
it was
right?
fun.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. That's what I think. He
Yeah.
didn't talk about that. He was saying that they're zipping through it so they can get to more of the drama on the boat, and I disagree.
Yes. Well, I think there is more opportunity for drama and romance and hookups with this
True.
cast than any other cast I've seen before because
Thank you.
we've got a couple of lesbians, we've got a couple of people that are like borderline bisexual.
Oh no, they're not borderline. They're bisexual. Both of those
Well,
guys are making out with other dudes.
no, not the guys. I think the French girl's also gonna be hooking up with one
Oh
of the
yeah,
girls,
yeah.
and
Oh, that's right. She's gonna
and
spurn Scottish
a
guy.
couple of gay guys. So
Yeah,
it's like really like a hotbed of
that's
like
what I'm saying. I like this
endless
Bravo.
opportunities of who can hook up with who, which makes it so much more interesting.
I agree. And it's very
Yeah.
interesting that there are two bisexual dudes and a gay dude on on the
Two gay
show.
dudes. Who's the second bisexual dude?
The guy, the Scottish guy's bisexual.
Oh, he is?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
yeah. He made out with not only last season he made out with Fraser and another guy, and he went farther than just making out with another guy. He
Wow,
talked
I
about it.
totally blocked that out.
And
And then
the
we've got
blonde-haired
yeah.
surfer guy is
Yeah.
bisexual too,
Yeah. Okay. And
and
then we've got
Fraser is gay.
Fraser and the chef is gay as well.
Oh, and the chef too.
Yeah. And then we've got
Wait,
two
no, I don't think the
lesbian.
chef is not gay.
Oh, yeah, he is. The
He
second one,
is.
the French one. Oh, I'm fairly certain.
I don't know if he. Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's good because Bravo for being a show with Andy Cohen. There's often not as many gay people on Bravo as you'd think.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I think that's a good thing.
Well, and
It makes
two,
it much more interesting when the guy can hook up with another dude or a lady, or the
yeah.
lady. You know what I'm saying? Or the ladies start hooking up with each other. You get double the drama.
Yeah, exactly.
I love Below Deck. Now one show I got sucked into is Love Island, and I do not
Oh.
suggest either of you watch this trash. But
I
it's
don't plan
great.
on it.
Yeah, don't. It's great to build Lego to, but it's also super strange. I don't. It's really. It's just a weird show
Mm.
where they have these contests where they like make out with each other, and it's you got to like fast forward through it because the noises or alone give you a stomach ache.
Ew.
Like it's and then but then when they're hanging out, they barely talk to each other, and all the guys are together, and they're like, "Hey, bros!" And all the girl. It's just weird. I don't know. It's like
Strange.
it's just like it's a very internet show, if you know what I mean. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's very
Yeah.
voyeuristic, but not participatory, which is kind of like maybe that's the generation that these kids are in. I don't know. But
Well, Perfect Match is coming back for another season, and like I told myself, and I'm gonna hold myself to it, that I wouldn't watch it anymore after the second season because, well, the way that it ended, the way like it was the two brand new people that came in and they I
I
don't
didn't watch
remember.
it.
It
Wait,
was
did I watch
dumb.
it?
It
No.
was like they flipped the script basically, and it was like the dumbest people won that shouldn't have won, and it was terrible. So but they have so Freddie from
Friday.
Love is Blind UK is going to be on there, and AD from Love is Blind, she was AD and Clay,
Oh, that's right.
and Ole from Love is
Oh,
Blind UK
oh, I know.
Yeah.
We
are
know a
all on
huge
there.
spoiler from
And
this.
yeah, we know that they got together. And
Yeah.
isn't she pregnant now too, I
Oh,
think?
I haven't heard
I
that.
think
Wow.
I think she's pregnant, maybe not. I might be
I watched
mistaken
only
on
the
that.
first season of
But
this, I
also
think.
Madison from this past Love is Blind, the awful Madison
This
is
sounds
on there.
interesting to me,
And
though.
Netflix, when they put the pictures out, they put a picture of my dear Freddie
The
with
most perfect
awful
male
Madison.
specimen.
And I was like, oh,
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
wow.
oh,
Okay, maybe
please,
I'll watch it.
Lord.
Maybe I'll look into
Mm,
that season. I didn't, I
Six
only, yeah,
pound, 7 ounce baby Jesus. Do not let them wind up a couple together because I cannot.
Oh, Freddie was
oh,
so, oh, he was so tender, though,
perfect.
too, right?
I
I
Like,
know.
know.
I just see his little face crying when he was like, I'm so big and strong and handsome. I don't know what to do.
Yes,
And
so.
all the women love me, and I'm so sad. He was
So
right. Like, he
yeah.
was like, I just want to be loved, but they all just want my body. And then his sister was like, they just want your body, Freddie. Right? Oh, yeah. I'd like to see it. Oh,
Oh.
that's interesting. That's coming back. Okay.
Yeah, but I just can't. So the podcast that I listen to, the Shut the Fuck Up Nick Lachey podcast,
Yeah.
I think they are going to cover it, and that will be enough for me. I can
Yes.
just
I
listen
do
to
that same
Daisy and
thing.
Ellen talk about it rather than
Yeah.
subject myself to watching it because I will be annoyed by it again, inevitably. So I'm going to hold myself to not watching it.
You can just
I
search
can't.
the internet for photos of Freddie from it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And
Freddie.
I can't wait. The Traders is back. I haven't started watching it
Ooh.
yet. I don't know if there's only I think it just came back.
Wait,
So
what?
the
Really?
Traders,
No,
yeah.
not it's not back yet, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, I have an episode I think on Peacock.
For oh, my wife is going to go nuts if I tell her there's an episode of The Traders because I love that. We both love that show. Though
Um,
I do hope that they change the I always complain about that the actual competition doesn't have much to do with the show itself. Like, when they're trying to make money, the traders should be able to like throw a wrench in it or steal money from them or something. You know what I mean? Like in the end, the trader helped. I don't know. Anyway, I like that it's
gross.
that this cast seems a little bit more even, right? Like because the first two celebrity casts, they got the
Maybe it's
biggest.
not back. I thought
See,
it
it's not
was.
back yet. I knew it.
Okay, it's
Yeah,
not yet. It is coming back because I saw some cast announcements.
it's blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's season four.
Yeah.
I think season three because the first season they mixed the remember they had normies on it. Oh, early 2026.
Oh, it's a while.
It's not coming for a while. Look what you did to us. You got me all
It
excited,
was because I
Jenny.
saw this season 4 cast revealed.
That's
That's
okay.
what.
Yeah, they did reveal the cast, but I don't know if
Hmm.
they shot it yet. They might be
I think
shooting it
it
now.
popped up in my continue watching. It's like showing like I didn't finish watching the last season. That must be what
Oh,
it's doing.
uh-oh. Now I see that my son texted me a half an hour ago. Hey, Dad, when are you going to pick me up? Well, guess what, kid? I guess
Guess
Oh,
you're
what?
still at the park.
It's time for us to get off the
Yeah, I
podcast.
guess
I
I should
think
go
it's
pick up the kid.
funny you had to force your child to go out and play, and he's like really not wanting to be outside.
Now he's
No, he
like,
does,
Dad,
but
can you come get me?
see, you know what? I'm one of those crazy parents where like I push him outside and I tell him about like when I was your age, I would just stay at the park for 3 hours making up
Oh, dude, I
adventures
rode
and I
my
would
bike
build
all over
things.
town.
Yeah.
Like I'd be
Yeah.
So,
gone for all day.
you know what it is, Gina, is these days you have to force kids to be bored. There's no such thing as boredom in their lives anymore. So you have to like kind of invent
Mm.
it and force them to be bored because boredom is the greatest friend of creativity and finding out who you are, right? You just got to have nothing to do. Then you start lighting fires and ding dong ditching people, which he did. I was like, do not do that, dude. People have
Oh boy.
guns. This is Oregon, okay?
Yeah, yeah. You're in the area of Oregon where they definitely have them.
Yeah. All right. Well, everyone, this has been a wonderful show. My son is probably crying at the, you don't love me. Why didn't you pick me up? I guess Jenny and Gina are more important to you than me. Your
Tell
podcast,
them we're
Dad.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'll be like, whatever. You probably just want to talk about the ultimatum again. Um, anyway, meanwhile, last week, the kid is up at like 5 a.m. watching the last season of Squid Game. I'm eating
Yeah, that's what you
breakfast and
said.
yeah, I'm eating breakfast and he goes, I go, oh, I'm gonna watch Squid Game tonight. He goes, yeah, I just finished the whole season this morning. I was like, motherfucker, it's 7:45. What's this morning? He got up like at 4 a.m. to watch it. I was like, that's
Oh,
disturbing too. I had to
a
talk
little
about it
bit.
with him, but
Yeah, I
it
haven't
is.
watched Squid Games. I don't really care to.
It's
It's
actually
not my
really good.
jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But if you don't, it's not a necessary thing to watch. You're right. It's kind of disturbing. There's a lot of violence in it. And on that note, let's celebrate the 4th of July. I hope
Okay.
everyone has a happy 4th of July and we elect
Yes.
a new president who isn't
Happy
a
birthday,
total scumbag.
America.
Yeah,
While we're still
that's how we'll end the
America.
podcast. Happy birthday. Let's go in a better direction.
Yes.
Hamburgers and hot dogs. Um, we will be back with the Duster finale on Monday. No, actually on Tuesday, I think. And this Friday, I don't think I'm recording anything, so I think I shall put out a film list that Heath and Andy recorded a while back. So that'll be something fun to look forward to. Thanks everyone for listening. Thanks again to Joshua, our newest patron, perhaps until he hears my political views. But you never know these days, folks. But we're moving on anyway. Jenny, anything final to say?
I do not have anything more to say. It was great to be here. So thanks for having
Yeah,
me on.
this was a fun one. Gina?
Thanks for having me on, and I'm excited to finish watching Ultimatum Queer Love to see if
Same, same,
if
same.
love prevails, if new love prevails.
If love
I'm probably gonna
prevails.
go in the other bedroom and watch
Watch
it
it right
after
now.
we finish
I know, I
because
think, yeah,
I
let's see.
can't
I
go
gotta,
downstairs and watch it. Rob's not gonna be interested in that.
I can't watch it just yet. I've got something to do, but when I get back tonight, I'm gonna watch it.
do you watch it with your man, Gina?
I've
Does he
started
watch
him
it?
on season 1.
Okay.
So yeah, he
I
had
have to wait for my wife, so we'll watch
yeah,
tonight.
he hadn't watched season 1, but yeah, we watched usually Love is Blind together and
Nice.
this now. So
You should watch Ransom Canyon together.
I know there's a lot to
I
watch.
watched Ransom Canyon.
Oh, you did you?
Hmm.
You're in the
Okay.
canyon, huh?
Well, time's a wasting. We better go so you can pick up your kid.
I'm just avoiding this to make him stay at the park later. All right, everybody. Take care,
Bye.
everybody. Bye bye. Thanks for
Bye.
listening. Lachlan, I'm on my way to pick you up. Now, maybe I'll hang out for